Welcome to Angel's Citadel and our very first live play. We're going to be doing Invisible Sun by Monty Cook Games. I'm your host. I'm Josh Wallace, the one and only Count Zero ASL, keeper of the keys to Angel's Citadel. I want to go ahead and introduce my cast here one by one. You'll see them on the overlay here. We're going to start out with top left, I guess it'd be, Kelton Barney. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kelton Barty. You can find me at Fesnerax the Fantastic, most places online. Pronouns are he, him. And so excited to play this game.
Thank you. Next up, we have Jeff Vaden.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jeff. You can find me on Discord at Jeffrey Boring. I'm really excited to play some Invisible Sun with these folks.
Then we've got my better half, Joanne Wallace.
Hi, everybody. As you know, I'm Joanne Wallace, the angel of Angel Citadel, and I'm the one producing this tonight.
And last but absolutely certainly not least, Chris Harris, an old friend of ours.
Hello. You can find me pretty much here, and that's about it. My tag's synth. Drop by and say hi, and I'm ready to get going.
Sounds great. For those of you who don't know what Invisible Sun is a role playing game by Monty Cook Games. It is a surreal fantasy of magic and wonder. Our cast is going to play magic users known as Visley, who have woken up from the lie of the shadow or the world around us into what's known as the actuality. And the actuality is a wondrous place full of magic and mystery and excitement and the new for them. They're coming to reclaim their old lives, and today what we're going to do is we're going to start character creation. One of the things that's different about Invisible Sun is that character creation is a little bit different than it is with most role-playing games. Part of it is an individual effort that we're going to kind of do in a group setting, but the rest of it is actually a group exercise, and it talks about how each character, each player relates to the other players in the group and how they relate to their world. And so we're going to do some world building at the end of that. And that's going to be our first live stream, is when we're going to do the group stuff. But we wanted to go back and do this with you as well. So in case you wanted to see how a character or characters are created, you can come back and take a look at this and understand how we got the characters that we got. Let's get started here. In step zero, we're going to talk a little bit about the players, and we're going to ask some questions about how our players want to take a look at playing Invisible Sun and the kinds of games that we want to play. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this book that came with Invisible Sun. It's called The Guiding Hand. It's a notebook of sorts that allows me to organize some of my thoughts, and we're going to use that to help direct some of the character creation here. So let's get started. Question zero, Kelton. Choose a role playing style. So we have four main role playing styles. We have the builder, the explorer, the attainer, and the achiever. The builder is one that adds to the world. They look beyond themselves to see the bigger picture, and they want to be a part of it. They want to make their mark on the world by creating something new, a home, an organization, a book of lore, or anything else. You can look at that as altruistic, or it might be selfish, but either way, the builders are organized dreamers with big plans. Explorers look for new people, places, things, and experiences. They seek understanding, knowledge, Nothing is more intriguing to the explorer than what lies behind a locked door, within the pages of a forbidden book, or in the mind of an intriguing NPC. Anything else in the game is just a means to the end of answering every question, solving every mystery, and exploring every nook and cranny. An attainer is inwardly focused. They amass power and they seek self improvement. They want more spells, more skills, more abilities, more cool gear, and obviously more money. Um, they have plans for what they amass sometimes, or sometimes they just might be gathering it for its own sake. Like dragons. Either way, they're focused on the tally sheet of what they have, what they know, and what they can do. And last, an achiever is story focused. Goals are important, and success at achieving them is paramount. Achievers set specific goals for themselves and then develop plans for how to reach them. Alternatively, achievers are the ones who grab hold tightest when a story hook is placed before them. They want to see the story completed, and all the rest is just a part of the larger tale being told. So, talk to me a little bit, Kelton, about what you think or how you think you want to approach this game. We've talked a little bit about what we're going to be doing, and some of the broader questions and storylines that we want to try and cover. But how do you think you want to engage with this particular campaign?
Well, I have to go with what my character would be for the RP style, and that is 100% explorer. Too aloof to be much of a goal setter, but still very motivated, mostly for new experiences. Um, so that is 100% the RP style that Billy, my character, will be going for.
Sounds good. Jeff,
I
you're
believe.
you're on mute, Jeff.
I apologize for that. Explorer for sure. I'm wanting to play a character that is very interested in the people around him and uh, creating new relationships with the people and creatures that he encounters.
Okay. So two explorers so far. How about you, Joanne?
I think my character is going to go for an attainer. I want the shiny things.
Bucking the mold. I like it. Chris, what do you got?
Sterling and I, Sterling is the name of my character. We're going to be going for Achiever. He is interested in mystery, definitely, but he is more interested in a specific mystery that he's been exploring, even in his time in Shadow.
Sounds good. I like it. So we have two explorers, an attainer, and achiever. This might be interesting. All right. I believe we have already chosen orders, but I'm going to go ahead and have you talk about your orders and explain to our viewers what they're like as you understand them, and the kinds of magic and the way they interact with the world, if you would. So, Kelton, go ahead and get us started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be playing Billy Burrows, who is most definitely a weaver. One way to look at weavers as a perfect analogy for this character specifically, who is literally a jazz musician. Weavers are sort of the improvisational Vizsla of the bunch. The whole thing is very fluid and experimental for them. It's not codified. It's not organized. Um, Nothing ever really happens the same way twice, and that's very much in line with his character. So yeah, jazz magic.
Awesome. Jeff, what do you got?
Uh, I will be playing a maker. Makers are an order who focus on creating items, objects of power, or ephemera items, which are one-shot magic items that create certain magical effects in the world.
Wonderful. So a weaver and a maker. Joanne, where are you at?
I am going to be playing a Goetic, the summoner class of the Vances. This life.
Them too. So yeah, the Goetics summon creatures, demons, angels, spirits, and other interesting things, and get them to do their bidding. Chris, what do you got?
I will be playing a Vance. They take magic to its scholarly extreme, and while some people can consider them pretty stuffy or booky, a lot of them are just studious and trying to control the living force that is magic.
And let me assure you that Chris is neither stuffy nor bookish. He's a very, very personal kind of guy. So the third question, actually question 2, since we started on 0, is the character's heart. So a heart is, for all intents and purposes, the character's inner nature. And Invisible Sun covers 4 different hearts. They have the gallant, who are nimble in thought and deed. Quick thinking means that they're good on their feet, ready with an extemporaneous plan or action. They let their intuition be their guide more often than not, allowing them to be calm, even sanguine, in heated and stressful situations. This also keys into the Sooth deck that we're going to. It pairs with the card family of Secrets. It has a theme animal of the Raven, and their object, their particular symbol that they identify with is a book. The Stoic is quiet and slow to action, but contemplative and even analytical, rarely shaken, and they have great depth should anyone explore them. They rely on thought above sensation, emotion, or intuition. Golly, that sounds a lot like me. Sometimes they're even said to have a phlegmatic temperament. Their card family is the Mysteries, and their animals are the rat, and their object is a mirror. Mirrors are fun in Invisible Sun, but we'll get to more of that later. Then we have the Empath. You touch and are touched by the emotions and thoughts of those around you. Your words are wise and fall just right upon the ears of those who listen. You let your feelings serve as your guide. You are typically relaxed and peaceful. And one might say that they have a melancholic temperament. Their card family is the Visions set, and their animal is the swan. Their object is the blade. And last but not least, the ardent. Quick to potent action, they react with strength and emotion, a veritable force of nature all on their own. At times, people might consider them to be short tempered or even choleric in temperament. Your senses are what you trust if you're an ardent. And that card family is notions. Their animal is the cat, and their object is the clock. The player character hearts also determine starting skills and some of the starting attributes that our characters will have. And we'll talk about that a little bit mechanically later on as we go. But those are divided into physical and mental qualities, known as certes and qualia. And the players will then split that down into different attributes that they use to perform actions or to assist in performing actions. They'll also be able to choose different skills from initial lists, and that'll also help them with their actions later on. So, Kelton, what are you thinking for your character's heart, and why?
200% empath. Um, you'll see this will make even more sense going forward, but he's very gregarious. He might not seem like an empath on the outside all the time, but literally he often accidentally has someone else's dream. He's very connected to the people around him, and he is very compassionate and perceptive, but also very kind of aloof. Again, it's the jazz thing. He's not really focused on one thing at any given time. He's very changeable. He's almost mercurial. So it's the only one that makes sense to me.
Sounds good. Jeff.
I am also going to be playing an empath. My character, again, is very interested in the people around him and seeking to forge bonds with those people, even though sometimes they might not want to forge bonds with him.
Sounds good. Joanne.
I am going to break the mold again. I'm gonna get my character is going to be Gallant.
Excellent. And why gallant?
Well, um, after thinking about it, my character is going to be a very Shakespearean style character who wasn't actually from Shakespeare's time, just spent most of her time as an actress. So the charming, roguish, mischievous definitely fits her qualifications.
So are we thinking like puck mischievous, or are we like young um Romeo kind of, here, let me get into trouble mischievous?
I'm thinking more Puck mischievous
Sweet.
because Romeo was an idiot. Just saying.
All right. And Chris, what do you got?
I am going to be joining two of our party members as an empath. While everyone in the environment around him is pretty much a stoic, the just sort of anxiety of figuring things out gets to him and makes him this changeable mold that just needs to react emotionally to things. So while he might try to front as someone stoic, it doesn't work.
So we've got three people that are in touch with their feelings and one that likes to push the button. I love this. This is going to be great. All right. Last but not least for today, we're going to do, or no, excuse me. We have two more. We're going to next choose a forte. So a forte in Invisible Sun is kind of like what you're good at. If an order is the way you look at magic, your forte is um, your natural tendency towards the magical. And there are an absolute ton of these, not just in the book The Key out of the Black Cube, but book M as well has a bunch more that we're going to be able to use. So let's go ahead and start talking about what those fortes are. If you could describe a little bit of what the sense of that forte is and how it relates to your character, that'd be great too. If you need some more time, um, or to take a second, just let us know. We can probably pause the video or something like that. But let's talk a little bit about what you guys are going to be good at. Kelton.
Yeah. So my forte is going to be plumbs the deeps of sleep. The deeps of sleep is kind of a part of the blue sun where all sorts of things that have been lost or just dwell in dreams exist. And that forte allows me to do various things depending on how good I get at it, like pull things from the deeps of sleep into the indigo sun and use or interact with them. And the reasoning for this is Billy, when he was in shadow, much like myself, suffered from like night terrors and sleep paralysis, and had like a very, very vivid, like his dream life was actually, this is more extreme than me, but like more vivid than his real life, where he was just mostly in asylums and things. And he got to the actuality through basically tunneling through his dreams and nightmares, which are mostly made up of like hallways and institutional corridors and weird animal burrows and tunnels. Um, so it's all kind of tied in with his character, and yeah, that's about it for that.
Very, very cool. What about you, Jeff?
So, Albion has a very, very good friend that no one else can see. His forte is walks with a secret companion, and uh, he spends his free time, hanging out with his secret companion, and two of them go out to make friends, and he's just a chill guy that likes hanging out with his best friend and making some new acquaintances.
See, so when I was a kid and I had an invisible friend that I would talk to because I didn't actually have any real friends. This is the game for me, right? Is what we're saying. Yeah, you have a secret companion or an invisible buddy.
He's always with me.
I love it. Joanne, what are you thinking?
I am going to go with listens to the whispers.
Okay, talk about listens to the whispers a little bit.
Well, so in Invisible Sun, one of the big things that uh you didn't bring up, so I'm going to bring it up, is that when your character dies, you're not dead. You're only partially dead, mostly dead. Sometimes you need a miracle max. But when you listen to the whispers, you can listen to ghosts and spirits and talk to them and listen to them and get, advice, hidden knowledge, secrets, and occasionally they want you to do new and interesting things for them.
Excellent. So we're going to listen to ghosts and do what they say. That can't possibly have anything, not good happen with it. I love it.
Especially since I can also summon demons and spirits that I listen to.
That's even better. I love it. This is great. Chris, what are you thinking?
I have gone with splinters into fragments. The people who do this are usually called splinters themselves. They literally rip apart their physical self in just tons of shrapnel and then reform like nothing happened. Sometimes they can reform into multiples, or they can reform themselves into a different form. I kind of took it because this is the sort of just the ultimate expression of his anxiety. He only tries to shatter when things get super tough. Otherwise, he would stick to Vance spells.
That's actually incredibly profoundly evocative. I love it. Um, I'd never thought about that. That's cool. I can't wait to see this. Okay, so the last part of it is the secret soul. Now, each Visley has one of 13 souls that they ally with. And that soul grants them power, but at the same time, it represents a vulnerability for them. They do not um, necessarily want other people to have the knowledge of their secret soul. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what those secret souls are, and then I'm just going to confirm with each of my players that they've chosen a secret soul. And if those come out in play, great. And if they don't, they shall remain secret. So the 13 soul allegiances are the Silver Star, sometimes called the Shining Star. This soul offers protection, but also focuses on mystery and the unknown. It is the solace of isolation, quiet, and calm. The next one is the Watcher. Distant and aloof, the Watcher possesses vast knowledge and clear logic and values little else. The next one is the Child. The Child represents purity and yet also naivety. The child respects play and joy, but also struggles with or ignores responsibility. Next up is the Lady. Neither young nor old, beautiful nor ugly, kind nor cruel, the lady is capricious and embraces change, bestowing blessings one day and calamity the next. Then we have the flame, which grants life-giving warmth, but it also destroys. It must be wielded carefully, but with skill, its use is limitless. Next up is the doctor. Knowledge, and more important, the application of that knowledge, is the purview of the doctor. The doctor has many secrets, but is unafraid to reveal them when the time is right. Then we have the old man, cantankerous and set in his ways. The old man trods the well-worn path. The old man rejects change and chance. Then we have the eye, often confused with the watcher. The eye sees what it sees unintentionally. In Shadow, the saying goes that the eye is the window to the soul, and that applies here. The eye is more about the thoughts, impressions, and sensations of the soul than what is actually seen. It is the impact on the viewer rather than what is viewed. Rather than being interested in knowledge for its own sake, the eye values experience and understanding. Introspective, it sees inward as well as out. Then we have the blade. The blade is swift and full of action and initiative. It acts with precision, skill, and sometimes even intuition. The blade is so sharp and so precise that it can cut to heal as well as harm. It never inflicts unintentional harm. The abyss is next. It knows no bounds. Its depths are limitless and ultimately beyond understanding. The hammer follows, and that's strong, stalwart, and powerful, but entirely without subtlety. It is mightier than the blade, but also messier, more brutal, and far less precise. Then we have the whisper. The whisper is soft and quiet, but persuasive. It speaks directly into one's heart, one's soul. Whatever it says becomes truth. And finally, we have the dancer. The dancer is grace and movement. It is the creation of beauty and art, and the appreciation of the same. So, do you, Kelton, have your secret soul chosen?
I do indeed.
Excellent. Jeff? How about
Yes,
you?
I
Awesome.
do.
Joanne?
Yes.
Excellent. And Chris? All right. So the last thing I want us to do today, we've gone through, we've chosen role playing style and order, a heart, a forte, and a secret soul. Part of what the heart offers is for you to be able to assign your attributes, which I don't necessarily need us to go over, but to select some skills. And so let's talk about choosing some skills off of your hearts that you've chosen. And then if you have a forte ability where you get to choose at the first one, because some of them are you start with one specific one, and some of them you get to choose. If you've chosen a forte where you get to choose, tell us which one you chose and why. So let's go ahead and start with Kelton again, unless you need some time.
Hey, no, I am actually good. I have to remind myself. Um, so I'm fairly certain about the skills that I'm choosing off of Empath, and uh, I think that they're going to be persuasion and understanding people's motives. And then for Plumbs the Deeps of Sleep, I do get an ability right out of the gate. I don't get to choose what it is. It is Treasure from the Deeps. Um, so this is kind of like what I mentioned before. When I go to sleep, I think about what I need, and I will have the next day. I must sleep for 8 hours or to use this ability. So when I'm sleeping, I can find something that I need or want from the deeps of sleep and bring it back from the dream with me.
Excellent. Jeff?
For the skills that I've chosen, uh, while he's an empath and he loves meeting people, I don't really see him as especially great with persuasion and things like that. I've chosen from the empath list seeing through deception and the resist skill, which is one of the three defensive skills in the game.
Okay, that sounds good. Joanne?
And
Oh,
oh, I was
sorry.
gonna say
Go ahead.
the only walks with the secret companion skill that is available is called Another Point of View, where I can ask my secret companion to essentially step into the other room for a moment and tell me what he sees.
Very nice. Espionage. All right, Joanne?
Um, for my two heart skills, I chose acrobatics and disguise because they both fit in with the theme of the actress. Being
Very
able to
nice.
bounce around on the stage and then change what I look like, it will be very useful at some point.
I like that. And your forte?
My forte only allows for the chosen one, and that's basically I get more hidden knowledge.
Excellent. Always useful. So hidden knowledge is a concept that it's a separate attribute and doesn't come from certes or qualia. You can use it to add bene or an extra point to your venture in any situation that you can explain. So if you are trying to talk your way past, oh, I don't know, an NPC to get into a party, and you decide that you want to use hidden knowledge to assist in that, you might say that you have secret knowledge of an embarrassing event that particular NPC perpetrated, and you're going to blackmail them into letting you past and into the party. And so you spend a point of hidden knowledge, and you gain an advantage to doing that. That's not something that automatically renews. It's something that you have to spend time looking for or find in other ways. There's several ways to find hidden knowledge. So that's kind of how that works, and that's kind of a cool little ability. Chris, what do you got?
Uh, I have taken oratory and resist. Being advanced, speaking is of the utmost importance in pretty much every class. And then for resist, he's just built up this mental tolerance so that he doesn't reveal that he splinters.
Very nice.
Splinters comes with a single ability at the beginning, defensive splintering. When I get attacked, I can splinter into several pieces and reform it. So I gain a +1 to any dodge defenses.
Very nice. So that about covers character creation. The other thing that you're going to notice on our overlay is a whole bunch of symbols right next to our cameras. What you're seeing is known as the Path of Suns. The Path of Suns is a narrative tool that we use in Invisible Sun to help change and guide the story, and also represent the fluctuation of magic and how it affects the world and the Vislay that are playing. So each time uh, something happens, something big, we change scenes, we go to a new round in combat, or there's kind of a narrative shift. What will happen is I will draw a Sooth card, and it'll show up on the path just kind of like this.
I think you're muted, Josh.
What? How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yep, we lost you
Okay.
for
Sure can.
So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and flip those, and I'll take some time and read what the card means, so that those of you that don't have the black cube can follow along and understand what those mean and what's going on. What suns get diminished and what suns get advanced, what magic family those cards are for, and who that helps among our Vislay, if anybody. Um, the Path of Suns follows down through the middle there, and then a card is placed on the invisible sun, that symbol off to the right, and that card stays and is in effect until you've gone through the entire path again, and another card goes on the invisible sun. So after you've played 8 cards and you play the ninth one on the invisible sun, that ninth card stays in effect for the next 8 cards, in addition to whatever you played on the actual Path of Suns. So that's how that's going to work. And that's kind of where we're at for character creation. That's the individual portion of it. Next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to get back together. We're going to do the group session, where we're going to talk about forming our group of Vislay together into a cohesive unit. We're going to talk about character arcs, character bonds. We're going to talk about the homes that they live in and the neighborhoods that they live in, and some of the inhabitants there. And if we get time, we might even get to visit those neighborhoods. So, for those of you that watch this, we appreciate you. Please like and subscribe at our Twitch channel, Twitch TV Angel Citadel Play, or here on YouTube. Um, so that way you get notified the next time we've got that on. And we'd love to see you back here with us under the invisible sun next 2 weeks from now, as we get started finding the soul's true direction. Excuse me, our first episode is next week. And every 2 weeks thereafter. My mistake. So that's what we've got for you today. And to my cast, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to telling some amazing stories with you. These characters are going to be a blast.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So excited.
Until next week, then.